you so much for joining us. So happy to have you here for such an important and evergreen conversation when we're talking about Black girls, Black girlhood, education, and overall really having a conversation just about joy. What we really want tonight to be is a conversation where, although we are fully aware that this world has never loved, never cared for, never protected Black girls, this is a space tonight for us to do that for each other, for us to love each other, for us to center our joy, center our happiness, and for us to just really be in community with each other. Even though it is a webinar, this is just a conversation amongst community, and we really hope that y'all look at it just the same.
Black girl, big hair, big brains, and a big smile is surviving a predominantly white institution again. This story begins in high school, and if I could put it into words, it would be realizing there were actually less than 10 Black girls in my grade. It's me being told I need a better attitude when I never had an attitude in the first place. It's the kid in my Mandarin class spelling the word Black instead of just saying Black, or I guess African American. It's writing a paper on the increasing maternal mortality rate for Black women and being asked, where is the evidence? Like my women aren't already 3 to 4 times more likely to die than white women. It's recognizing that I have been groomed to become this unrecognizable, strong Black woman, spine made of steel, no room for tears, taking on more than I should. Sometimes it's realizing schools aren't schools at all, just businesses that don't serve us, but us colored girls must be a poster child for their diversity. And if it ever comes down to money versus students, it will always be money. But it is also quoting Lucille Clifton, "Won't you come celebrate with me," as an affirmation in the mornings. It's turning my locker into a one-stop shop for lotion, gel, perfume, and more. Realizing I should give myself more grace because if not me, then who? It's taking down my friend's box braids in the middle of the 3rd floor common area. It's forming a community out of the ashes, out of the very few there are, out of shared silences and commonalities, finding validation in those who look like you and those who walk the same path as you. So when I say Black women are a necessary safe space for us girls, I mean that wholeheartedly. I mean the question, can I use the bathroom, has always been an escape out of the classroom, a one-way trip to Orinthia and Zensley's office, because they are my safe space. They are who I turned to when the days felt longer, when graduation couldn't come any sooner. Hearts and doors open, smelled like rosewater, lavender, and tangerines. Me, their child by extension, and don't every Black girl deserve this? Deserve to be seen and heard, loved and appreciated out loud. So when I say I wouldn't have made it through high school without them, I mean that wholeheartedly. And 4 years later, I find myself in yet another white bubble, questioning whether or not I belong here. And now my joy, my magic, and mental health is at stake. But I'm choosing to put me first. And as redundant as that sounds, this is not meant to be another survival story because I am tired of surviving. In this story, you're going to make space for me. I'm going to get my money's worth. And in the middle of white suburbia, my homegirl and I are going to sing Brown Skin Girl at the top of our lungs on our way to class. And y'all are going to hear us. In this story, I'm choosing academia for the sole purpose of demolishing the gates and the gatekeepers. I finally accepted I do want to enter the realm of teaching. And one day I'll be a little Black girl's safe space. A gardener simply there to help her bloom, blossom, and grow.
This first activity is an opportunity for us to get to know each other, again, really centering and building on that level of community that is so important and so vital for this conversation. And so what we're gonna do is what's called a jam board. This is an opportunity for us to essentially brainstorm and co-create ideas together. And so we're going to take some time to answer 2 questions. The first question is, what does it mean to you to be a Black girl? And if it's been a while since you've been a young child, think about what it means to you to be a Black woman, or think about how you felt when you were a Black girl. Then the second question that we also want people to answer is, where do you feel most affirmed in your Black identity and your girl identity? So your identity as both Black and woman, Black and girl, where do you feel most safe with those identities? Where do you feel most protected? Where do you feel most seen?
I feel most affirmed in NAGB because it's a program made specifically for Black girls. It's not about being Black, it's about being a girl and being Black. So it's very specific. I like that.
Being a Black girl means having a strong community of people who understand both your traumatic and your beautiful experiences.
Being a Black girl means that you are yourself unapologetically, while simultaneously holding the world on your shoulders.
Not knowing how to double dutch, but knowing how to braid. Kind of like the idea that there isn't one narrative of what it means to be a Black girl, and that we exist in like multiple spaces and multiple identities.
It was me being born differently, but also having people around me to relate to, so I don't feel alone.
Being a Black girl means defeating the odds and proving the world wrong every single day, because I feel like I think like Favor said before, it's not just about being Black or being a girl. We're both Black and we're women, and we have like all these dimensions of like oppression and systems of oppression against us every day, yet we continue to persevere.
I wrote that what kind of affirms me feeling like black woman is being able to, I'm a therapist, and being able to work with other young Black women and Black girls as they don't often see themselves represented in the mental health field. And there's a lot of concepts and ideas and just strong feelings when it comes to structural oppression that other groups may not understand due to that intersectionality. So it's just, there's a bond that I think that can be formed among Black practitioners and young Black individuals that just cannot happen in the same way in other places and spaces.
To be a Black girl, for me, it means to be fearless and unapologetic every day. And I feel like, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. You know, some days are really hard, and I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders, as I'm sure so many Black girls in this room feel the same way. But I would say this is something that I still take with so much pride, to just understand how powerful I am by being fearless and choosing myself every single day. It's not an easy thing. So
being a Black girl was being able to change my hairstyle like however I want, whenever I want, being able to wear any hair color I want and it looked good on me because I'm a Black girl. That's how I relate.
To be a Black girl, it means to love my hair and skin, because growing up as a Black girl, we're not really taught as much to learn to love those things about ourselves, and they're like the most noticeable things on us. So it's important to learn to love them, and if you don't already.
Being a Black girl just means like forcing myself to take up space, like take up space in the sense that like be able to speak, don't feel like you can't like speak as much as other people. Like I just always have to tell myself that every single day. Take up space. It's okay. Take up space.
I feel most affirmed when I'm around other Black women, because I feel like we're really the only ones who understand each other, because like we have Black men and we have other women who understand part of our struggle, but you know, the intersection of our identities, it makes it more difficult to find people who understand like our struggle, who understand honestly like our everyday like experiences. So I feel like being around other Black women really helps me feel most affirmed.
I put at the hair salon, and it kind of just made me think of like how the first hair salon, I guess, was kind of with our mothers or our grandmothers, and then we kind of just graduated, I guess, to like physically going to the hair salon and seeing other girls and women there like going through the same thing I was, kind of just reaffirmed that I wasn't alone and that this was a safe space for me.
Me, I feel most affirmed in my Black and girl identities when I'm doing my sister's hair, my little sister's hair, because it helps her embrace her hair, and that's like one of my main goals, like help her be a Black girl.
I've been most affirmed. So currently I'm a therapist in training at NYU, and it has been extremely hard doing that full time while working full time as well. And being a Black girl in these spaces in academia that often tell me that I don't belong, that I don't deserve to take up any space at all. And I've really found a tribe when it comes to faculty and staff who are women of color, my classmates who are of color, we're women of color, and just us, creating safe spaces for one another and just helping me really reaffirm my passion for therapy and how I'm doing really meaningful work, important work, and I enjoy it so far. It's just reaffirming my purpose, to help uplift the other Black girls in my community and give them a space to have a voice, when they haven't had that much of a space at all. So
reassurance that Black girls have is like what really reassures me in life, just knowing and being around them, knowing that we share the same struggles, or uniqueness kind of click. We go through the same mood shifts, we go through the same struggles, those things kind of keep me grounded to know I have somebody there who understands me because they're a Black woman and because I'm a Black girl. So just the reassurance.
I also agree that the hairdresser is a special place. And I think I shaved my head in the beginning of the pandemic. So it was my first time going to a barber shop. And it was just really jarring to see the difference between a barber shop energy and vibes and a hair salon. So then I did a lot of research to find a Black queer barbershop, and there's so many. So I was just amazed at the ways that Black girls and Black women create spaces for themselves and our community where we're not often seen or where we're not often expected to be. And I think that any place where I'm with more than one other Black girl is a place that is a communal space. It's a place where I feel free to be myself, and we're talking in a language that only we can understand, that is for us, communicating in a specific way. And I found that a lot on TikTok. And as a not young person, I was hesitant to join TikTok, but I think that there is a really special place on TikTok for Black girls, Black femmes, to express themselves and show how they're living their lives and really make connections, even though we're so different and so varied. There is something that connects us as Black femmes together.
For me, I love going to get my hair done. And I agree with what everyone had to say, because seeing people that look like you with your hair texture or something that looks close to your hair or something that looks closer to your skin color, it just makes you feel like you have someone there for you. And it's a great feeling to feel such way, especially in such society where we don't get enough support from certain people. So I feel like our hair is just one of the things that completes us, and it's just so beautiful.